involve all of you. There's a phrase which came to prominence during the Iraq War. Tony Blair kept on saying, it's the right thing to do. And other politicians have taken up this whenever they're on morally dubious territory. So whenever any of you hear a politician say, it's the right thing to do you believe them? And so you couldn't get a more simple example. It's a very clear sentence. There's no ambiguity in it. But we have now learned very quickly that as soon as a politician says that, we should distrust them. And so I think that that's an example of the language being degraded. But the message that goes with that sentence is as clear as can be. And so I think, going back to what Matthew was saying, that we can see through the misuse of language extremely quickly. And the degradation of the language is simply the symptom of degradation of politics, that if a politician has been degraded, they may use degraded language, but we can see that immediately. A point I'd like to move on to is that politicians used to own the language, or rather, they had the voice, but they don't have the voice anymore. And so whether politicians use degraded language, or whether politics is degraded by language, no longer matters so much, because with the internet, individuals have voice, and the power of politicians to abuse language and to persuade us with language that is masquerading the truth is much harder now. In fact, you could say that how the language is simply the weapon that is used in the battle for political influence. Politicians had all the influence, they had the voice, they used the language. The media then took influence away from the politicians. They used the language, they dominated the way that language was used. The politicians fell in with the media agenda on language. They spoke in tabloids, they spoke in a PR language. But now, following what's been happening with the news of the world, and because of the internet, the people now have the influence, and they can use the language, and they can reach the world. Any individual with a political message can now have their voice heard across the world, which is an extraordinary democratization of political language. And so I think that it matters much less now that a politician stands up and uses degraded language than it has ever done before.